Fox 66 News with Sean Lafferty, meteorologist Tom Atkins, and Craig Smiley with sports. You're watching Fox 66 News first at 10.
As voters hit the polls in Wisconsin, one campaign announces plans for Erie. A former president is coming to northwestern Pennsylvania. Good evening. The polling places are closed in Wisconsin at this hour, and the results appear to be in. Fox 66 is your local election headquarters. Fox News is now projecting Ted Cruz to be the winner of the Republican primary. Bernie Sanders projected to be the winner on the Democratic side. Both candidates were coming in hoping to gain ground on their respective parties' candidates, lead candidates, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now the focus on the Empire State, New York, followed by, of course, another huge delegate grab in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania primary coming up on the 26th. Former President Bill Clinton is bringing the 2016 campaign to Erie, hoping to convince voters his wife should have his old job. Caroline Collins joins us now live in the control room with the latest on this campaign news. Caroline.
Good evening, Sean. President Bill Clinton will be in Erie on Thursday following his, on Friday following his stops Thursday in Philadelphia and in Scranton. Local Democratic Party members are excited to generate support for their frontrunner. Former President Bill Clinton will be in Erie Friday. The Clinton campaign renting space for the rest of the week at the Erie County Democratic headquarters on State Street. Brandon Hansen, a field organizer with the Clinton campaign, says the former president will be in town to voice why Hillary is the best candidate.
He's going to hit on all the important things that Hillary's been fighting for, and definitely cover the fact that, she's going to be fighting for the families in Erie and for everyone in Erie.
This isn't President Clinton's first time in Erie. He was in the area when he was running for office, and again in 2007 campaigning for his wife's first presidential run, and returned in 2008 supporting President Obama. A time and location of where the former president will be speaking is still unknown, but Hansen says Erie is an important part of Clinton's campaign.
I want to make sure that they are out here fighting for every vote, and that we'll have everyone else fighting to make her the next president of the United States.
The Democratic Party says with Bill Clinton coming to Erie, that means that the Pennsylvania primaries will carry some weight.
Pennsylvania is going to be a major player, and the race is very close. Well, it's not real close, but it's going to go down to the wire, and all the candidates want to get the maximum number of delegates that they can.
Erie Democratic Party Chairman Bill Cool says this is a positive move by the Clinton campaign and believes Bill Clinton's time in Pennsylvania will help Hillary win the Pennsylvania primary.
This is a very good sign. It's going to energize all of the people who are her supporters. It's going to motivate the party. It's going to motivate everyone who's in favor of Hillary Clinton.
Bill Cole did tell me that he wouldn't be surprised if Hillary Clinton makes her way to Erie if all things go well when Bill Clinton is here. Now, we don't know the time and the location of where Bill Clinton will be, but we will let you know as soon as we get that information. Sean.
And so it begins for Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Caroline. For the latest 2016 election news, check out your local election headquarters at yourerie.com. Let's turn to weather now. Looked a lot better outside than it felt. Meteorologist Tom Atkins here now with your Fox First forecast. Will that change?
Yeah, for a day, Sean, it will. We still have the clear skies. As you look outside, kind of a tranquil shot as you look up State Street there. So clear skies for now, calmer winds, colder temperatures. If you look on the upper left-hand corner of your sets, you see a little snow crossing Lake Michigan into Michigan. That's your morning wake-up call, but that's going to be fleeting and moving out quickly. So no problems for several hours as indicated by live pinpoint Doppler. Our temperature range right now 23 to 32 degrees, and actually not that much different than last night. So as you look at those calm winds, a little dip in temperatures for the next few hours, and then they go up as you go into tomorrow morning. A few flakes possible when you wake up, and then windy and much warmer with some showers developing later in the day. We'll talk more later in the show. Sean?
Thanks, Tom. After Erie County admits making a mistake on the November election ballot, they're now refusing to pay the wronged candidate for legal fees. Leanne Stuck asked the county why. You may not believe the answer.
Investigation. A Corey School Board member is taking matters into her own hands after paying thousands of dollars to fix a county mistake.
I filed a civil action with District Justice Tom Carney to recover the legal fees of the $6,800 plus the $200, so now we're over $7,000.
The county admits they mistakenly left Amanda Cox off the November election ballot, but have no plans to reimburse her for the legal fees she spent to be put back on.
I think the law is pretty clear that the election board as an agency of the county, is insulated from liability under the Political Subdivision Tort Claims Act.
Adding that the county has put procedures in place to ensure this will not happen again. But the question is whether Amanda Cox's name would have been on the ballot without legal representation.
If she had not retained counsel to look into the file and then ultimately filed a petition, she would not have got her name on the ballot.
Cox has filed a civil action for reimbursement of legal fees after the county denied her request. The county solicitor standing by his decision, saying they do not want to set a precedent.
The election board and all other political subdivisions are immune from lawsuits by people. And so rather than set a precedent that would go contrary to that law, I recommended that they follow the law.
It's a terrible thing to have happen to the taxpayers and the voters, that I was forced to do this in order to get my name on the ballot as the voters wanted.
Leanne Stuck, Fox 66 News.
Erie police are using an impounded car as possible evidence to solve a hit-and-run accident. A 12-year-old boy was hit while riding his bicycle last Monday night near the corner of East 26th and Brandis Streets. Corporal Anthony Letkevich says he has impounded a car that was possibly involved in the accident. Police still processing that vehicle for evidence and waiting for some scheduled interviews before they send the case to the DA's office. Letkevich says a surveillance camera captured the incident. According to police, the 12-year-old is still recovering in Pittsburgh. State police are involved in what became an almost 7-hour standoff in Green Township. It's new at 10 o'clock tonight. Troopers were called out to the scene on Orton Road around 2:30 this afternoon. The entire length of Orton was blocked off from Route 8 to Page Road. State police say the incident involved a single individual in a building, a man who was believed to be armed. They tell us the incident ended around 9:15 tonight, with that man taken to a hospital for evaluation. There were no injuries reported. A car fire on Interstate 90 is quickly put out tonight. McCain firefighters making short work of the flames engulfing a car traveling on I-90. The call came in as a working fire just after 5:30. The flames were under control before 6 o'clock. That car was on the exit ramp heading south on Interstate 79 coming off eastbound I-90. No word yet on a cause. A man charged in a string of robberies pleads guilty to the crime. 49-year-old David Durrell is charged with multiple counts of robbery, theft, and receiving stolen property. Police say Durrell robbed the Gulf Express at West 38th and Liberty Streets, then the next day robbed the Circle K at West 26th and Cherry, then continued by robbing the Dairy Queen on Peach Street. Durrell was charged with 3 counts of robbery, but 2 counts were dropped in exchange for the guilty plea. He'll be sentenced May 26th. A Warren County corrections officer charged with reckless endangerment after his gun is fired inside a Gander Mountain is headed to trial. Blair Johnson is charged with reckless endangerment after his firearm discharges in a Gander Mountain dressing room. Happened in February. The bullet went through a bench and into a wall. Johnson turned himself into police shortly after the incident. He waived his scheduled preliminary hearing today. All charges are now headed to trial. Crawford County Sheriff's deputies are now asking for your help finding 2 people wanted for allegedly running a meth operation in the Cambridge Springs area. Felony arrest warrants have been issued for 56-year-old James Ells and 56-year-old Joanne Cottrell. The 2 have been sought since March 8th on charges of making with the intent of delivering methamphetamine. It's believed the 2 may still be in the Crawford County area. Anyone with information is now urged to contact Crawford County Sheriff's 814-333-7411. A former Erie School District employee charged with theft is denied a request to receive a special probation. 53-year-old Robert Tirak is facing 3 felony counts for allegedly stealing microphones and other electronic equipment during his time as a multimedia technician. The DA's office denying his ARD request, which would allow his record to remain clear and have him receive probation. The DA saying the nature of the offense, the fact that there was more than 1 victim, and the belief that if he wasn't caught, he'd still be stealing, were all reasons for the denial. A controversial bill regarding abortion made it to the House floor in Harrisburg this week. State Representative Rapp says her piece of legislation would roll back from the Abortion Control Act, which is currently in place in Pennsylvania. That law allows women to have abortions up to 24 weeks in their pregnancy. Rapp's bill cuts that to 20 weeks. The vice chair of the Northwest Caucus of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party feels it's not up to the government to decide.
I understand that there is that concern that our medical community is able to support smaller fetuses at this point that are born prematurely, but I still have to go back to the idea that this is really a decision that belongs with a female and with her physician.
Bill was passed on to the House floor for consideration yesterday by the Health Committee, and Representative Rapp says it can be voted on as early as Monday. A former Mill Creek supervisor takes his unemployment fight before a referee today. Rick Fagaski is fighting the township over his unemployment benefits. The state approved those benefits after Fagaski did not seek re-election, but later reversed the decision. According to current supervisors, Fagaski testified to the unemployment referee by telephone from Florida. Current township supervisor Brian McGrath also testified. That referee is expected to make a decision in about a week. Mill Creek Township Planning Commission is discussing a sketch plan involving property owned by the Sisters of St. Joseph. The Sisters requesting that a subdivision of the Hermitage apartment building is made separate from their living center. That building, located south of West 8th Street, is a former Villa Maria College campus apartment. However, the Sisters are facing an obstacle. There's no road leading directly to the apartment building. The Planning Commission is now talking about recommendations.
If there were any real deal breakers or some major issues, they would come to light now, and then they would incorporate those in their real plan.
Mill Creek supervisors will discuss recommendations at their next meeting. No decisions were made tonight. A bill designed to cut down and prevent animal cruelty is passed through the State House. It's now on its way to the State Senate. House Bill 869 was proposed by Representative Ryan Bizzarro of Erie County. Under the bill, anyone convicted of animal abuse with a first or second degree misdemeanor or a felony would be required to forfeit their animals to shelters or other groups dedicated to preventing animal cruelty. Bill 869 now heads to the Senate for further consideration.
President Obama wants to make sure American companies keep paying taxes in America. I'm Peter Ducey at the White House with those details coming up.
It's a battle between Mill Creek supervisors and city council. Who should appoint the vacancies on the Erie Water Authority board? We talked to both sides.
Plus, skating legend Tony Hawk puts on an impromptu show to try and help raise money for at-risk kids.